Hey there, guys. Today we'll be continuing our experiment with wooden pistons in this here car. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll install the rings, seat the bearings, put the pistons into the block, and assemble the rest of it. The sump, head, timing chain, and whatever. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so we take the rings and carefully place them into the pistons. They seem to be moving pretty freely. Good stuff. And now the second ring. As you remember, we aren't putting in any oil rings. We've decided that they won't be necessary. This motor won't be working too long anyway, so it's best for them to be smothered in oil. There's the second one. Great, moving along now. Will a motor work with wooden pistons? Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Anesthetic medication. Right, fellas, we've ran into a small issue here. Well, it's not really much of an issue. We actually saw it coming. We specifically made these pistons a bit lower, and as a result, you can see that they jam up against the crankshaft webs. We're going to have to shave some material off. There's no way around that. Let's get to it. So yeah, guys, we're doing good. The pistons are in place. I don't know, for some reason I reckon that aluminum pistons are easier to install than wood. Anyway, we've finished the job. There's still the matter of installing the head and everything. Now we're going to show you how the pistons reciprocate while we turn the motor over. Let's go. So yeah, fellas, we've assembled the entire bottom end. The pistons are in place, as well as the oil pickup and the sump. As you can see, we've lowered the car to the ground. Now we get to putting together the top end. The cylinder head, exhaust, timing chain. Then we'll adjust the valves and everything else. After that, we'll fire it up. Shall we? So yeah, we've put everything together. We're looking good. I mean to say that the engine is rotating. We'll try firing it up using some starting fluid. Okay, so here we go with the inaugural startup. It very well could be the last. Go for it. The chain's rattling like crazy. Come on, dude. Can we at least get some backfire in the carburetor? You can let off the gas, man. I disconnected it. Okay, try again. So here's the situation. For some reason, we don't have compression. In order to boost compression, we're going to fill the cylinders with some oil. Then we're going to do another compression test. Okay, so we've already poured in a bit of oil and turned the motor over slightly. Now we do another compression test. Stop. Go for it. Here we go. That's enough. Go again. Oh my god. Oh my god. 160 psi. We have 160. That's a good sign. Right, let's give it another go, shall we? Fire it up, Serge. So here's the situation, fellas. We weren't able to start the car yesterday. We're currently at day 2. No idea why we don't have compression. So we thought everything over. We had a little argument, and at one point it got pretty heated. There's only one adequate conclusion that came to mind. In my opinion, the piston rings are seized. The pistons soaked up some oil and gas, and I probably did spill some antifreeze while I was installing the head, which made them swell up a bit, crushing the piston rings in the process. They seized up and therefore we have no compression. Anyway, I've lifted the car up and removed the sump while nobody was around. We'll tear the motor down and have a look. Let's go. So here's the situation. I removed the piston and the rings are indeed seized up. As you can see, they're stuck. They're flush with the piston and therefore don't do their job. Obviously, the wood itself won't provide any sort of decent compression. Anyway, we'll remove the rings and widen the grooves. So now we remove the rings. Gotta find a way to snag them. What should I use? Right, I've got myself this here fancy knife. Wow, they're locked in there really tight. Of course there wouldn't be any compression. I can't even get them out. Okay. Yeah, the rings don't seem to be happy at all. Right, one down. And one to go. Excellent. Now there's the matter of widening these here grooves. Only need to figure out how. This seems to be the right solution. We'll just use this knife. It comes with a little saw. It's sharp and even on both sides. Exactly what we need. Let's have a look. Excellent. It fits perfectly. Now we remove the excess material. What an awesome little knife this is. This isn't the first time it's been a lifesaver. If you're interested, I can leave a link in the description. And you can have a look at what else they got. Anyway, fellas, here's the situation. I've widened the piston ring grooves. We seem to be looking good. I've reassembled the motor and conducted a compression test. Unfortunately, it hasn't really gone up at all. Only if ever so slightly. I do have a guess as to why this isn't working. Anyway, I'll read your comments later. Do the smartasses out there have any ideas? Anyway, that's not the point. We're gonna roll this car out from the garage and use the old-fashioned method of starting it up by dragging it on a rope. Let's go. It's turning over as if there's nothing left in there. Stop, that's enough. We have some fireworks happening. It's like New Year all over again. Anyway, so we went for a ride and it was backfiring like crazy. It even spat out the dipstick. It fired into the carburetor and through the breathers as well. The engine is covered in oil. Even the rear bumper is drenched in oil. So it doesn't seem to work on oil. Yeah, we saw some sneezing and hiccups. And we did at one point sense a strong wooden odor in the cabin. I'm guessing the pistons got seriously baked while they were in there. Anyway, let's tear the motor apart and see what's up. Let's get to it. So fellas, let me give you a rundown. I was making some guesses as to why we didn't have decent compression. The starter motor was spinning frantically, as if we didn't have pistons in there at all. So here's the situation. It did seem to have started for a short period of time while we were towing the car. But unfortunately, we had an immediate mishap. Those are actually the rods I'm touching. The pistons burned right through from the get-go. All four of them at once. As you can see, all four pistons burned right through. They managed to work about, I don't know, maybe 20 or 15 seconds before catastrophic failure occurred. All in different spots. I'm guessing this is down to the spark plugs and the mixtures being drawn into each cylinder. Anyway, they're most certainly wasted. So yeah, fellas, here's where we stand after conducting our little experiment. Wooden pistons are great and everything, although they are a pain in the ass to install. They do fit nice and snug in the cylinders, so they should have worked nicely. But as a matter of fact, after making a quick attempt at firing up the motor, the car actually started, as you saw while we were towing it on a rope. However, they were barbecued almost immediately. I do actually remember somebody suggesting we cover them with some tin, or coat them with some sort of varnish. But the bottom line is they burned straight through almost right away. Even though the pistons we fabricated had a 0.71-inch thick head, they were only able to handle about 20 seconds, maybe even 15. Nobody knows for sure. So where does this leave us? Well, there's no way you can use wooden pistons in a 4-stroke automotive engine. Anyway, fellas, that's all for today. Subscribe, watch our videos, leave some comments, give us a thumbs up, and see you later.